Chapter 1. The Cage of Time. Beyond the vast stretches of the universe, where stars twinkled like gems on a dark canvas, there was a structure unlike any other, the Time Jail. If one were to see it, it might look like a shimmering mirage, but in reality, it was a masterful construct that transcended both time and space. Built from threads of history, memories, and moments, this prison was a swirling vortex of the past, present, and future. Within its ever-shifting walls, timelines converged, histories blended, and epochs met, making escape a seemingly impossible task. It was designed not just to hold its prisoners but to baffle them, with its labyrinthine corridors and rooms that seemed to change with every blink. It was here that the universe's most notorious criminal, Zorok, was imprisoned. A man of sharp intellect and cunning, he was not easily caged. His past transgressions included meddling with significant events, causing ripples that had the potential to alter realities, and threatening the balance of the universe. For these crimes, he was deemed too dangerous for a regular prison. Zorok's cell was located at the very center of the Time Jail, a place where all timelines met. Days in this central hub felt like years, and nights could seem like mere seconds. This temporal disorientation was a part of the prison's design, furthering the sense of isolation and hopelessness. However, Zorok, despite his confinement, was not one to accept his fate easily. During his numerous adventures and misdeeds, he had collected various artifacts, many of which held power over time itself. And one such relic, a chronometer and ancient timepiece with ornate markings, had been secretly stashed away in his cell. This wasn't just any ordinary timepiece. It held the secrets to manipulating time, one fateful day, or perhaps night. For in the Time Jail it was hard to differentiate. Zorok decided he'd had enough of his temporal prison. He began to tinker with the chronometer, aiming to disturb the intricate fabric of the Time Jail. Slowly, a vortex began to form in his cell. Initially just a tiny whirlwind, it grew in size and power. As the walls of his prison started to waver and wobble, Zorok could feel freedom beckoning him. The once secure fabric of the Time Jail was being torn apart, and the universe's most dangerous fugitive was on the verge of escaping once again. And as the prison alarms started their frantic song and guards hurriedly tried to seal the breach, Zorok stepped into the vortex, leaving the confines of the Time Jail behind, and setting the stage for a chase across the ages. Chapter 2. The Mist of the Voyage. Emerging from the vortex, Zorok found himself in a realm that was both familiar and disorienting. The Time Maze. It was a space unlike any other, where the very fabric of reality seemed to warp and twist. Past and future blended seamlessly here. It was a chaotic tapestry of moments, some fleeting and others eternal. Around him, Zorok could see different epochs coexisting. Ancient castles stood next to futuristic skyscrapers. Dinosaurs roamed alongside hovercars. It was both dazzling and dizzying, a panorama of history and possibility. But Zorok wasn't here to sightsee. His mind was focused on one thing: finding the pivotal moments in time that could elevate him to a position of ultimate power. Using his chronometer, he began to navigate the maze, moving from one epoch to another, like a predator searching for the perfect prey. Every once in a while, he would stop to adjust the dials on his device, refining his search. Back at the Time Jail, the escape had caused quite the stir. The guards, equipped with their temporal gear, were busy repairing the breach and ensuring no other prisoner could exploit Zorok's escape route. But it wasn't the guards that Zorok needed to be wary of. Tara, a seasoned time constable, was called into action. With sharp auburn hair that flowed down her back, piercing blue eyes, and an aura of authority, she was known for her exceptional skills in tracking down time fugitives. Her office, filled with ancient scrolls, futuristic devices, and a vast holographic map of the time maze was buzzing with activity. Tara's primary tool in her quest was the Time Seeker. This wasn't a mere gadget. It was a marvel of temporal engineering, made of silver and shaped like a pocket watch. It boasted dials, levers, and a holographic display. The Time Seeker could lock onto any temporal disturbance or signature, making it perfect for tracking down someone like Zorok. Feeling the weight of the universe's balance on her shoulders, Tara began her pursuit. She adjusted her Time Seeker to Zorok's last known temporal signature and took a deep breath. With a determined look in her eyes, she stepped into the time maze, following the trails of blue light that indicated Zorok's recent journey. As she moved through the shifting corridors of the time maze, she passed through many doorways to various epochs, catching glimpses of moments both monumental and mundane. From the crowning of ancient kings to children playing in parks of the future, the beauty of time in all its forms surrounded her. But Tara was undeterred. For her, this was more than just a chase. It was a mission to protect the timelines and ensure that history remained unaltered. Zorok's meddling had the potential to unravel the very threads of existence, and Tara was the universe's best hope in preventing that catastrophe. The game of cat and mouse through the corridors of time had begun. Would Tara be able to outsmart Zorok, or would he succeed in his quest for power? The time maze held the answers, and time, as always, would tell. Chapter 3: The Whirl of Yesteryears. Zorok's first destination was the golden sands of ancient Egypt. As he emerged from a portal, the intense sunlight made him squint. The air was thick with the scent of spices and the distant murmurs of a busy marketplace. Towering in the horizon were the magnificent pyramids, with one still under construction. Seeing an opportunity, Zorok, using his charisma, posed as an oracle from a faraway land. With tales of grandeur and promises of future prosperity, he quickly drew the attention of the locals. His exotic attire and the mystique of his chronometer, which he claimed could predict the future, only added to his allure. Within days, he found himself in the grand hall of Pharaoh Ramose, aiming to weave himself into the very annals of history. He pitched a grand vision, a pyramid larger and more splendid than any other, dedicated in his name. This, he claimed, would not just be a monument, but a beacon of power and prosperity for the kingdom. Pharaoh Ramose, intrigued by the proposal and the mysticism surrounding this foreign oracle, considered the idea. Zorok's influence grew as he became a regular figure in the royal court, whispering ideas and guiding decisions. However, this sudden rise to power didn't go unnoticed. Tara, having followed Zorok's temporal signature, arrived in Egypt. She was quick to assess the situation, adapting to her surroundings by dressing in the elegant garb of an Egyptian noblewoman. Her attire, a blend of white and gold, complemented her fiery hair. She began her countermove by mingling with the priests and scholars, who were already wary of Zorok's sudden influence. Sharing tales of his past misdeeds and the danger he posed to the timeline, Tara garnered their support. Together, they strategized, aiming to undermine Zorok's influence without causing a significant disturbance in the timeline. As days turned into nights, a subtle game of politics and persuasion ensued within the palace. Festivals were held, prophecies were made, and the balance of power constantly shifted. In the royal court, music and dance would often mask whispered conversations and secret exchanges. One evening, during a grand feast in honor of the gods, a pivotal moment arose. Zorok, with a glass of wine in hand, was about to announce the commencement of the Grand Pyramid project. But before he could utter a word, Tara, with the backing of the high priests, challenged him to a duel of prophecies, a common practice to validate the credibility of oracles. As a hushed anticipation fell upon the court, both began their predictions. While Zorok spoke of prosperity and dominance, Tara used her knowledge from the Time Seeker to predict specific events, like the rise and fall of the Nile and celestial phenomena. Impressed by her accuracy and the weight of her words, the pharaoh grew doubtful of Zorok. Sensing the shift in mood, Zorok realized his plan was unraveling. But before he could react, Torah's time seeker alerted her to another temporal disturbance. Zorok was on the move again, this time leaping to an era marked by war and upheaval. World War II. As Zorok disappeared into a portal, Tara took a moment to thank Pharaoh Ramose and the priests. With her mission in Egypt successful, she set her sights on her next destination, ready to continue her pursuit through the whirlwind of yesteryears. Chapter 4. Echoes of Tomorrow. Zorok's portal opened amidst the clamor and chaos of a World War II air raid shelter in London. The sound of sirens filled the air, and there was a palpable tension amongst the civilians huddled together. Their faces showed a mix of fear and determination, the weight of war evident in their eyes. Adapting quickly, Zorok donned the attire of an officer. Complete with a trench coat and hat, he knew that in this era of uncertainty and upheaval, information was power. Using his charm and the prestige of his rank, he started gathering intelligence, aiming to exploit the war for his gains. He found an opportunity with a group of spies, who, seeing the advantage of having an officer on their side, welcomed him into their fold. They planned to steal vital information from enemy lines, a move that would change the course of the war. If successful, Zorok could rewrite one of the most significant events in human history. However, the shadows of the war-torn streets of London were also where Tara materialized. The scene was all too familiar, having visited this epoch multiple times during her tenure. She knew the importance of preserving the timeline, especially during such crucial moments in history. Tara, disguising herself as a war nurse, began her search for Zorok. The smoky pubs, brimming with soldiers sharing tales of the front, became her initial point of inquiry. With her keen observational skills, it didn't take her long to hear whispers of the officer with an unusual accent and his affiliation with a group of spies. Gathering information, she pinpointed their next meeting spot, a dimly lit underground club, its entrance concealed behind a bookshop. There, amidst the sound of jazz and the haze of cigarette smoke, spies, soldiers, and informants exchanged secrets. As Zorok and his new allies convened in a secluded corner, Tara, hidden in the shadows, listened intently. The plan was audacious. Infiltrate a heavily guarded facility and intercept vital communications that could tilt the balance of the war. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Tara decided to intervene directly. On the night of the planned heist, she made her way to the facility ahead of Zorok's team. Using a combination of cunning and her temporal tools, she alerted the guards subtly, ensuring heightened security without raising a full alarm. Zorok's infiltration, under the watchful eyes of heightened security, quickly went awry. His team faced unexpected challenges, and soon they found themselves cornered. Just as the situation seemed bleak, another temporal disturbance indicated Zorok's hasty retreat, leaving his comrades behind. Tara, not one to leave things to chance, aided the spies in their escape, ensuring that they faced justice within their timeline rather than becoming casualties. With Zorok gone and the timeline intact, Tara felt a momentary relief, but she knew that the chase was far from over. With her time seeker in hand, she prepared to dive into another epoch, determined to bring the elusive Zorok to justice. Chapter 5. Guardian of the Ages. Zorok's next destination took him farther than any conventional era. He found himself on a space colony orbiting a vibrant blue planet, named Etheria, in the 25th century. The colony, named Celestia, was a marvel of human ingenuity. It floated amidst the vastness of space, its outer surface gleaming with reflective solar panels, and its core pulsating with the glow of artificial life. This advanced era, where humanity had spread its wings beyond Earth, was known for its technological marvels. Robots and humans coexisted, artificial intelligence guided every aspect of life, and space travel was as common as a bus ride. For Zorok, this was an enticing playground. He envisioned harnessing advanced technology to amplify his chronometer's capabilities, potentially giving him control over not just time, but space itself. With this in mind, he infiltrated a leading tech consortium, posing as an interstellar merchant with rare artifacts from forgotten timelines. His prize was the Quantum Core, an experimental device set to merge time and space, allowing its user to craft realities to their whim. Such power in Zorok's hands would make him unstoppable. Back on his trail, Tara emerged on Celestia, her attire now resembling a sleek spacesuit adorned with glowing insignia. Her Time Seeker had received an upgrade too, helping her navigate this complex futuristic environment. The floating holograms, robotic assistants, and the vastness of the cosmos didn't deter her. She was on a mission. She soon learned of the mysterious merchant and his keen interest in the Quantum Core. Realizing the imminent danger, Tara sought the assistance of the Guardians of Celestia, an elite group tasked with maintaining the balance of space and time in this era. Together with Lorian, the chief guardian, she formulated a plan to safeguard the Quantum Core. They decided to host a grand exhibition showcasing the core, turning the spotlight on Zorok and forcing him to make a move. As the exhibition day dawned, the hall was filled with interstellar dignitaries, scientists, and curious citizens. At its center, encased in a floating crystalline structure, was the Quantum Core, pulsating with a mesmerizing light. Zorok, unable to resist the allure, made his way towards the core. But as he approached, the very fabric of reality began to waver. The Quantum Core's unstable nature, combined with Zorok's chronometer, triggered a massive temporal distortion. Time and space spiraled into chaos. Visions of the past, present, and possible futures intermingled. Dinosaurs roamed the corridors of the space colony. Medieval knights battled robots, and ancient pyramids floated in the void of space. In the midst of this chaos, Tara and Lorian battled to regain control. Harnessing their combined knowledge and the power of the Time Seeker, they managed to contain the distortion. With a blinding flash of light, reality stabilized, but Zorok was nowhere to be seen. Although he had escaped again, his actions had left him weakened and his chronometer damaged. The chase wasn't over, but the tables were turning. Tara, with renewed determination and the support of allies across time and space, was ready for the final confrontation. The saga of the time chase would continue, echoing across eras, shaping destinies, and intertwining fates. Thank you for watching. To stay up to date on our future videos, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, and let us know what you think in the comments below.